Hey guys, and welcome back to Rad Resells. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Will, and in today's video, we have 10 reseller mistakes to avoid in 2025, so let's get right into it. Alright, so number one, and I think this one is so important, it's going to be blindly trusting resellers. And by resellers, I mean the reseller influencers that you watch on YouTube and also the resellers that you come in contact in your normal life. Some things work better for other people. People have different business models. I used to watch this one reseller. He used to always pick up mugs and he would always claim that they always sold, and I do believe him. However, when I would go check the sold comps, they were selling for about $12 plus shipping. You got to worry about the mug break-in. The sell-through rate was about 10%. It just wasn't for me.
For example, I had a day at the thrift where I went through a new rack and I had some great finds there. And another lady who's also a reseller was also going through the same rack, and she went over my part of the rack after me, and she picked up a pair of pants that I intentionally skipped. And she comes up to me afterwards. She just loves coming up and talking to me about her finds for some reason. And she goes, "Look at these pair of pants. They go for $70. And I look at them and I go, did I mess up? No, I didn't. I know that brand. NIVO. Terrible.
Trash.
I think the retail price is $70, maybe, if that. But they don't sell for that anywhere close to it. And these were pre-owned, and you might get $15 if it sells. So just because she says it sells for this amount, and she does this all the time, it doesn't mean that they do. Do your own research to confirm or disconfirm whatever the other person is saying. I'm not saying that they are trying to lie to you. They just might not know any better. Reseller mistake to avoid number 2. Sticking to old habits. And this one hits home a little bit. We're definitely have been sticking to what we know, which is mostly clothing. But recently we have been really expanding that and trying to go into more shoes and more hard goods. And even though it is unfamiliar territory, everything is unfamiliar until you become familiarized with it.
We've had way more sales in shoes because we're just picking up a lot more and we know what to look for.
Yeah. There's always more to learn, and the sea of reselling is so vast. You will never know everything, but there's always more to learn. So one thing that I'm doing now is every time I go to the thrift store, I try to learn one new thing, whether that is a good pickup or something that is not worth the pickup. No matter which one it is, I'm learning one new thing. A common mistake that resellers do, and we've done the same thing, is we look at items, we touch the items, and we go, it doesn't look valuable, or it doesn't feel valuable, and so we don't even look it up. That's a mistake. That's a little bonus sub mistake within this number 2. Just recently, we...
Are you about to bring it up? I was just about to talk about it.
He skipped 2 pleather bomber jackets with schools on them because they didn't feel nice. And he's right. They did not feel nice.
They were terrible, but they were so cool.
Yeah, and they both sold super fast for around $60 each.
Yeah.
Try to just look it up. It takes 1 minute, less than a minute to look it up.
And number 3, we have focusing on available listings. So when you pull up comps on eBay, as you guys already know, you see what's available to be sold. I could put $1,000 for this t-shirt. It'll never sell, but it's listed at that. When you check the sold, these could be selling for $13. And you need to always flicker over to those sold comps to get a better understanding of what the item is actually selling for.
Yes. What we talk about a lot is sell-through rate. And I'm not going to go into the specifics of the mathematical equation because it's a bit tricky to do on eBay for various reasons. I'm not going to dig into that, but basically, you only need to know the gist of it. It's the ratio between the sold listings versus the available listings, which shows the demand for the item. Is it selling well or is it not selling well? What you want to see is a high number of sold listings compared to available listings. If these numbers are about the same, we consider that a good sell-through rate. Now, if the sold listings has a higher number than the available listings, even better.
Oh, that's a dream.
Right.
When you hit that and you're like, oh,
There's more souls than they're available.
it's gonna sell tomorrow.
Reseller mistake number 4, sourcing flawed items. These are items that need work, whether it's a stitching job, a washing job, an oxy bath, a scrubbing job, whatever it is. Just it requires work of you, which is energy and time. Unless this item is actually worth it, so it's worth, $50 profit, okay, I might put in, 15, 20 minutes of work into it. Then it's worth it. But if it's not really worth that type of money, I would just skip right past that item.
We like the pristine,
Right.
like ready to list as soon as we get home. If it has a little funky smell, nah.
So look for crispy cheese, clean items.
Crispy cheese. Number 5, we have not knowing your worth. So anybody could go to a yard sale, pick something up for $1 and sell it for $5. The profit margin is insane. What is that, 400%? Crazy. Unless you're a super high volume store that could function that way, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? With me and Natalie, we sat down one day and we actually put a number on what we actually want to make on an item after all fees, shipping, and cost of goods. Ours is $10. Anything above that is amazing, but $10 an item makes it worth our time.
Reseller mistake number 6, creating a death pile. Now, I think most resellers who have been in the game for at least a while are guilty of this, and we are too, definitely. Just not excited about those items. Then we source new items that we're more excited about, and we post those instead. I like to have a small death pile in case we go through a period of low sourcing. And this has happened to us, and it triggered us.
It got scary a few times.
Yeah.
Number 7, we are guilty of this when we first started, especially on Poshmark. It's not utilizing USPS's free shipping materials. Guys, they give you boxes, they give you poly mailers, even padded ones, some stickers. Use it all. It's free. You just order it on their website. Takes a couple business days. Totally free. On
Right.
Poshmark, we were using our own poly mailers, which are like 20 cents a pop. When you sell a few hundred items, that really adds up and cuts into your profits.
And we used to make, not fun, but we judged people who would come in with bags filled up priority envelopes. We're like, they don't know any better. They're so expensive. They're spending, so and so much money per item while we're spending $2 less per packaging material.
Joke was on us.
Joke was on us because they were definitely Poshmark resellers and they knew better than us. Reseller mistake number 8. Focusing on retail price and thinking that affects resale value. It doesn't.
There's no correlation.
There is
at all.
none. Like, sure, you can find some brands that, has a high retail price and they sell for high. Sure. But then there's other brands that has also a high retail price and there is literally zero worth in this resale item. Not to call a brand out, White House Black Market, high MSRP, aka retail price, but when you look at what they're actually selling for, even brand new, trash. So yeah, just because it has a high retail price does not mean it has a high resale value.
Number 9. This was a huge lesson for me a few years ago, and it was not bookkeeping. So not keeping track of how much you paid for your items, cost of goods, your expenses, and how much actual profit we made. I remember I was writing on like Post-it notes, and at the end of the year, come tax time, I didn't have all the Post-it notes. It just made life super complicated.
And last but not least, reseller mistake number 10. Excuse my language, but half-assing reselling. If you don't treat it as a job, it's definitely not going to become your job if that's what you're looking for. Reselling is a business. It's your business that you created from scratch. So treat it like what it is, which is a business. If you sell something, ship it. So many resellers don't ship their items and 3 weeks go by and the buyer is messaging them, and I've seen complaints about this. Where's my item? Have you shipped my item? And they don't even respond. If you don't have the item, cancel the order. It's that simple. Don't just let it sit there and weeks go by and the buyer's like, what's going on, you know? It doesn't look good on you as a reseller. So just take it seriously. Even if it is a side hustle or a hobby for you, it's still making you money. So if you're not actually doing the work, you no longer will be making the money. So what's the point of doing it then?
Exactly. One of my buddies who's a reseller, he was just complaining to me that his Q4 sales aren't what he was expecting for this year. A week prior, he told me he hasn't listed in close to 2 weeks. So it sort of makes sense. The correlation, if you're not putting up new listings, helping the eBay algorithm, you get nothing in return. They're not going to spoon feed you sales. You have to put in the work and post up items that people actually want to buy.
Which goes back to sell-through rates.
Yeah, sell-through rate, picking up quality items,
Yes.
It brings it all together.
By taking it seriously, that's how we made this side hustle into my full-time job. And that happened in 1 year, I think it was.
1 year, once we were able to pay our rent and like some utility bills just with reselling, we were like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah. But alright, that sums up today's video of the 10 reseller mistakes to avoid in 2025. The new year is upon us, so let's try to make this our most profitable year yet. Other than that, thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to leave that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
White House Black
White House Black Market. Okay. Not to call a brand out, but Black House White Market.
You just said it the exact opposite. We just practiced this too. White House Black Market. Black House White Market.
And last but not least, number 10.
I didn't know what we were.
In case I don't keep that, I'm gonna go again. And last but not least, reseller mistake number 10.
That was so cringe.
Oh, shoot, thumbnail? Are we doing that?
I don't know.
What faces should we make? Serious, right. They're not gonna see it, they're moving. It's just gonna be number 1. Honestly, I don't know if we got that.
I don't know. What face are you making?
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, well, I think we got it.
I have no idea.